Hey everybody, it's another edition of Orpheus Plays. Your old pal Orpheus here. I've started doing the same intro for all of my videos, and that feels kind of weird. But anyway, we're here with another edition of Blade and Sorcery. Yes, we're murdering more people for your enjoyment, just like you're a crowd in a Roman Colosseum. Now, right now, if you want to, start chanting some sort of death chant, because we're going to be doing some killing today. We're playing a one-on-one version here. This is, it'll just start popping out people one at a time, hopefully from, I don't know, somewhere that's predictable, and we'll go from there. And I want to give you an idea. One of the stories, boy, I love telling these stupid stories about things that I did in the past. This is a great example of how a mental disorder can come into play in terms of behavior and a lack of... Hold on, we gotta do a slow-mo kill. I'm gonna start things off. I forgot. Ooh, she's a ninja. Oh, wow, she's tough. There we go. Anyway, so this is a good example of how a mental disorder can really influence your behavior in ways that I'm still baffled today about this one. So this took place when I was about 17. Obviously still in high school. It was a time about 6 months or so after I got into my car accident. And at that point in my life, I had started doing some really weird stuff. I didn't really drink alcohol, and suddenly I was drinking a bottle of champagne before school. It didn't happen that often. I did it maybe 2 or 3 times. I don't know why. Like, I wasn't a person that drank, you know what I mean? But there were some issues that were going on that I was dealing with. Anyway, when you have a random kind of disorder... And it turns out I'm also, hey, here's another revelation, I'm mildly autistic, surprise, which might be another thing that comes from that traumatic brain injury. Or it could be genetic. You never know. Whoa, okay. Wow. She's possessed. Ominous dominus. You can go back to God now. Wow. Hold on, I gotta kill you so I can take care of this demon that's spinning out of control here. Bro, where'd she go? Yep, back to hell. Okay. So yeah, mild autism might be genetic, might be from the traumatic brain injury. Because we waited so long, well, I say waited so long, because it took so long to figure it out, with brain scans and stuff, all of this may have presented itself anywhere along the way. Where's my next contestant? Where's my next contestant? Come on. Come on. Ooh, this one has a shield. Come here. There we go. Little spike action to the side of the head. So, the story. About 17. It's my dad's 50th birthday. All right. Well, let me preface this real quick by saying I was in a lot of musicals and plays at the time. And because of that, I'd become familiar with a local costume shop that was one of those ones that sold all the theatrical makeup, and they had a whole bunch of costumes that we would use for our productions. And a lot of the schools around... I just dropped both of these. Go onto my side. This one too. 1 second. 1 second, I'm talking. I'm putting away my weapon here, bro. I'm gonna do a little gravity punch. Anyway, so there was this costume shop. I had started to build a little bit of rapport with the owner of it. I'd go in there once in a while just to see what kind of makeup there was for, you know, productions that were coming up. And so just file that in your mind for a second. Put a pin in there. Anyway, so my dad's 50th birthday party, we have it at my cousin's house. My cousin had this big house in a suburb, and it was a gorgeous house, plenty of room, big backyard, hot tub, the whole thing. And so they invite all my dad's friends, business friends, family friends, friends from all around the world, came in to celebrate my dad's 50th birthday. Well, all right, so this turned out to be like they had people parking cars and catering and all sorts of stuff. You know, one of those really overblown birthday parties for people that are really egotistical. Yeah, not like I might want to have one of those soon. Anyway, now, so it wasn't really so much of a, like, hey, let's just get together and have some goofy fun and, you know, play cornhole in the backyard or something. Oh, by the way, if you don't know what cornhole is, go look it up. I'm not being rude, I promise. So it wasn't something like that. It was something that was, you know, more subdued. It was people standing around with hors d'oeuvres and cocktails. It wasn't like, you know, standing around with beers playing volleyball. All right. So in the days leading up to this, I don't know. I was probably in some sort of an odd mood. Where's my next victim? Where are you? Come to Orpheus. He's probably stuck over here. Anyway, so the days leading up to this, I was feeling a little weird. Again, I think I was mad at my family, or they were mad at me, which was not very uncommon. And so I'm at the costume shop, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, yeah, you know, there's a couple cool ones that it'd be fun to, like, you know, rent this and just kind of go be like those guys on Hollywood Boulevard that dress up in the different costumes. There he is. Okay. And so I was just kind of fantasizing about that, like, oh, I can go out dressed as Spider-Man. Woo, right? Totally not. I mean, this was a more, I don't want to say upper class. It was like a cleaner, nicer kind of city. You know, one of those crown in the jewels in the crown of a local suburban area, you know. Anyway, so it wasn't like I could just go out dressed as a superhero. It wasn't that kind of a vibe. You know, not like Venice Beach. Okay. So the day of the birthday comes, and it's earlier in the day. I was supposed to show up. I think it started at like 3 o'clock or something. It was like a Saturday. And, boy, as I tell this, I'm starting to remember it. I'm like, what the hell? I'm so stupid. So before I go to this party, and it's about a half an hour away from where we live, so it passes by the costume shop. Oh boy. And so I go to the costume shop and I'm like, hey, I have this idea. It's my dad's 50th birthday party. And I said, I want to go dressed as Batman. Okay. So immediately you're thinking, you know, this is a while ago, so maybe it's the Tim Burton Batman. It's the one that, you know, took over by Val Kilmer and that whole franchise with the bat nipples and stuff. Yeah, right? Okay. No. For some reason, I decided that I was going to go dressed as the Adam West version. Yes, from the 1960s, that cheesy, stupid one with the cape and the cloth eye mask and everything. So I put that on. Again, this is the part where I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? So I put it on and I drive to the birthday party, and it's like I just walk in and I'm like, hey everybody. I wasn't like, hi, I'm Batman. I didn't pretend I was Adam West. I didn't even bring attention to it. And it's all like adults. There was like maybe 2 kids at this thing, so there was no excuse for like, oh, I'm doing this for the kids. No, I'm just walking around like saying hello to people, and I'm like, hi, I'm my dad's son, you know, my name's Orpheus, and I'm The weirdest thing about this, though, no one said a thing. Nobody, all of these professional people, no one was like, why are you wearing a Batman outfit? Oh, that's cool. Oh, look, you're Adam West, because this would have been like the Batman that a lot of them grew up with. It's like, why are you dressed as Batman? No one mentioned a thing. I think what it was is like I was going around and like, you know, hello, how you doing? And people were seeing it, and then like my parents or somebody would had to have come up behind me and then like, you know, so there's something wrong with him. We just don't say anything. Just it'll be fine. So I walked around this party dressed as fucking 1960s Batman for about 3 hours. And That's the baffling part. So we get back to the mental illness awareness kind of thing. Why did I do it? I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but of course, you think of it in any way outside that situation, it's like, that is freaking absurd. Why would you do something like that? It's not like I didn't have my mental faculties. It's like, I knew it was weird, right? I was like, yeah, this is probably going to be a little weird. But in my head beforehand, I played it out as like, this is going to be the coolest thing my parents have ever seen. These people are going to love it. It's going to be awesome. I'm dressed as, Adam West. No. So here's it. No one even mentioned it afterwards. I leave the party. Hey, good to see you. Shaking hands with everybody. Leave the party. And it's like, I get back to the costume shop, return the costume, like, yeah, everything went great. I don't know why I told him that. Instead of like, that was a little weird. But I returned the costume, went home. Again, nobody mentioned it. My parents weren't like, why were you dressed as Batman? What were you thinking? Where did you get a Batman costume at short notice? That kind of thing. No, none of that. And I think, again, it's because they knew that I had some issues. Maybe they didn't know that it was autism, okay? Maybe they didn't know that it was the car accident, because I'm sure that we didn't know, because they never got me tested for anything. It was just like, well, he's not bleeding severely, so... Oh, wow. There was some samurai action. Slice, and then for a second, and then the head just kind of slid off. Cool. But no one got me tested for it, so they didn't know I had brain damage. So I want you to be kind of aware that when you have a mental condition, and this is mental health in general is a murky kind of subject to start with, because it's so stigmatized. And even though we're in a society where people say, oh, no, it's no problem. You can let your freak flag fly, right? Be whatever you want to be and people will accept you. Well, outside the internet, that's not really how it works out there. And so we have to make it an open discussion. Start talking about more of, these are challenges that I've done. Stupid decisions that you've made. There are not excuses necessarily for dumb things that you do, right? But there are underlying causes to take into account. And that was one of the things about this Batman thing. Why did I do it? I don't know. Looking back at it, it is a clear sign of, like, autism and some sort of... There was a disconnect in a wire somewhere, right? So, just want to give you that example. If there's nothing else that you can do when you have some sort of condition like this, and I'm coming on YouTube and talking about this, is helping me to accept it a little more and actually find a little bit of humor in it. It's very difficult because it's so frustrating when I can't talk or communicate right. When I'm trying to talk to my wife, she's the one that sees me first thing in the morning every day. And when I can't speak correctly, she sees the frustration on my face. She feels the frustration because she's trying to kind of piece together what's going on, while understanding that my brain on the inside, I can still understand what she's saying. I can still form the thoughts, they're just not coming out. And if you start to normalize that behavior, start telling people more about it, start experiencing it. If you see someone out there and they look like they're frustrated trying to talk, there was someone at a dispensary that I worked at, a patient who had come in, and he had one of those communicative disorders. His brain was working all right until he got into a motorcycle accident, got brain damage, and got something very similar to what I have, except his is all the time. There's a phenomenon that comes with that, though. If there are phrases or words that you are used to, right? Things that your go-to, like, f***ing hell, right? If that's your thing, a lot of the times you'll still be able to produce those sounds without a lot of obstruction. Like, you won't have a problem saying them. And so this was an example with this guy. He couldn't put together 2 or 3 words at a time. And it sounded if you watched my video about TBI, where I try to show it, that was how he was every single minute of the day, except when he got frustrated. And he'd be like, you know, I'm trying to talk, and then he'd just look at us, he'd look down and he'd go, fucking hell. But that was pretty much the only thing that he could say. And I'm trying to find a little humor in what's going on with me in order to accept it more. So I'm going to try to smile and laugh a little more when that happens to me. Yes, it's messed up. Yes, it's a little tragic. And yes, a lot of us experience true pain, like anguish from not being able to be what's accepted as normal in society. But if you give it a little smile, maybe eventually you'll be able to be all right with it. And that's kind of what I'm going for. Might not work every day. It might be depressing a lot of days. But if you... Whoa! What? Okay. I am now long arm punch man. Let's see if this works. Can I actually hit her with it? I have a battering ram for an arm. Cut it off. It's stuck in a trap. I think I actually punched her, though. This is getting awkward. Okay. Anyway, so that's about where I should end it, because what is going on here? Anyway, now that I have this, I've been put on the rack and made to talk. Anyway, I hope that helped you learn something. I hope it was interesting to hear about me being Batman. And we'll see you next time. Wow, on Orpheus Plays, I'm your friend Orpheus. See ya. It's been fun.